really, it wears you out.
Yeah.
It demoralizes you in a way that mere people can't.
It's along the same narrative of choosing your friends wisely, because the influence that they have on you is going to be felt in the ripples, right?
Absolutely.
Same thing with your coworkers, your employers are going to ask you to do things, and if your value systems are not synchronized, it could be a real flex on your conscience.
Yeah, and it takes a lot of time to figure it out, or for me anyway, time to figure it out, time to figure out what to do about it, and then do it.
Yeah.
So and eventually it came down to, I found an employer, venture, or more accurately, I think they found me. That I went, wow, people are really awesome. You're continuing to be awesome. When things go weird, instead of running away, you stand up and go, here's what we're going to do, and here's how it's going to positively affect you.
Sure.
They've shown leadership throughout my tenure there.
Right.
Everybody who's ever been in charge has shown true leadership.
How long?
Not something I've ever seen before, but it was 7 years.
7 years, that's amazing, yeah.
Yeah, it's been terrific.
Because the longer you spend time with someone, the more you start understanding who they really are, what they're standing for, all those specifics, right? And you can tell, is this a trajectory that's going in a way that's encouraging or discouraging?
Very, very true.
Well, I'm encouraged to hear that as well. I was thinking about how even in my job, I like highlighting that there are many really amazing drivers out there too. So while I do take pride in my job, I do understand I have a skill set that really suits well in this job, and I execute it fairly well. I also like reminding my riders of many others who are, maybe they're doing the job for whatever reasons that they're doing it, but they still bring their level with their personality on point to still give value. And I love identifying and appreciating those individuals and saying they get some kudos too. They they definitely deserve that element, because they are. It's hard work, to be certain, you know, to drive all day, to be available for a whole variety of clients that you're interacting with. Sometimes it's challenging, you know, because maybe English isn't your first language. And so here you are trying to understand a new cultural setting, trying to bring value to the job, trying to honor your riders or your clients that you're serving. And sometimes it doesn't translate very well, and so they get sort of taken for granted perhaps, or, you know, just in the way that they're trying to bring more, but it's not recognized.
Yes, well, it takes all kinds, doesn't it? It takes all kinds. And sometimes it can be very difficult to be patient with that.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
You have a wide array of digital gadgets and that touch just about everywhere out there.
So this is like my central power station here, from which I'm powering a lot of what's going on. Underneath your feet, you'll see some colors there.
Oh yeah, okay. Yeah. I saw the lights up front.
Yeah. And so with that, you can see those more in the evening, which is kind of fun. And then I've got, of course, my dash cams in the front and the back, my in-house camera right here. I've got microphones wired in here as well, so they kind of help facilitate like the kind of content I do online. And what else do I do here? Yeah, this is the mixer that I have right here for the audio. Yeah, there's a few things I've kind of thought through to try and make it all work out well. You're like, wow, this is
you put some effort into this.
I kind of did.
Well done, sir. Well done.
Well, all this primarily, like, I probably do a little bit more than usual, because the content that I post on. See, I have a microphone up here too. So my microphone's right here, and then of course your phones. The quality that I post online. On the one hand, I know it's wonderful as far as the enriching factor, you know, like the great conversations we share, the great chemistry that I have. Go ahead and answer it if you like.
Don't recognize that number. It's important to call that.
Gotcha. But then additionally, there's also the quality of the image. So the camera here that I use for in-house security, it's got fantastic quality to be able to make that easy for my followers to benefit from that. The audio is also really important. So for quite some time, I had some of my tech-savvy followers saying, please include some microphones in the back so we can hear better the riders, and so there's that as well too. And
So you live stream from your vehicle?
I have live streamed before, but live streaming takes up a lot of data, so I do more recording. But the live streaming is one that my followers desperately want more of, because they love being in the moment with me and my riders as well too. But with the live streaming, I'm also very careful, because before I post any content, I usually have them sign off on a consent form and get permission first, because it's not everyone's jam, right? So with the live stream, they're walking in, and so I'll usually meet them outside like I met you and just ask, hey, by the way, I've got a live stream going on with my followers for the content I have on online. They know that you're my first priority as my rider. If you're uncomfortable, I would love to hear your no, because I'd like to, you know, honor your wishes that way. And if they're open to it, then we'll have fun. If they're not, I'll just come and tell my followers, I'll catch you when I finish this ride, and they totally understand that, right? Because they do know the consent piece is really important for me too.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah, and then there's that component too, that I want to make sure that my rider has access to feeling comfortable saying, oh, I'm not sure if this is my thing, you know, because I know in this cultural setting, it's a difficult thing to say no.
It is. In fact, you've been basically taught not to.
I know. Yeah.
And then not given a lot of tools in terms of how to discern when to or when not to.
Exactly.
As you say, you're careful about what you say yes to.
Absolutely.
Right? And I think that's very important.
Absolutely. And then I want to help them as well by spending some time encouraging the no, especially, just because I want them to hear that it's not personal at all if I hear a no, and it's something that I actually really value, you know, to enable us to be on the same page in the communication piece. So that's important for me too. Yeah. Robert, you were saying that you are very much introverted by nature. You're very much socially.
Yes.
You do find challenges socially. If I were to ask you for permission to post our conversation, our time together, would you feel comfortable with that dynamic, or is your privacy something that's really sacred for you as well?
I'm not sure.
That's okay. I'm happy
sure.
for the no answer as well too. So
Pardon me?
I'm happy for the no answer as well, like I was saying. For me, the purpose for why I do it, again, in the first place, is to encourage and inspire people who are like you, especially, you know, who are like, wow, there's someone else who thinks this way, or the things that we were sharing along the way of saying, sometimes it's not easy to be able to say those kind of things when they resonate, and they're like, I'm kind of like him that way, you know? And the only reason I do ask for the extension is just to say, there are those who I have influence with, and I love being able to share some of the insights that we are able to talk about, for example, right? When they're hearing it saying, huh, it is okay that I have my skill set over here, and I don't have to be like everything to every man, for example, or yeah, just some things along the way that they're like, man, I just love the way you are able to make someone feel comfortable and at ease, and that's an okay thing to be able to not be in that zone where you're gifted that way, right? When the world's saying you should be this, but you're like, I'm not wired that way though. So those are some of the things that I take into when I make requests. I'm also careful to make sure we didn't talk about things that were personal. A lot of my rides, for example, are the kind where they share with me some very vulnerable things. I'm like, no one has any business hearing this, you know, because this is your experience that you're working through. And so I also want to guard people from those kind of exposés, if you will.
Understood.
So, yeah. But I do honor the no answer as well, too.
Well, I think I will give you a yes, because I'm sort of reviewing what we talked about, and I don't think I divulged anything in particular, and we had a very sort of abstract conversation about the nature of being and
even with the
job. So yeah, I think if this would be at all helpful to you, edited down into a useful clip, then sure, by all means.
I'll give you my card as well, so you can see what I do. This is the consent piece here, the video release form. There, I'll just fill that out, and I'll find a card that I can share with you that gives you a bit more peek into what I do and how you can keep in touch along the way. Thank you for being willing to do that.
You're welcome. Thank you for being you, really.
Thank you. That's really sweet. I appreciate that. It took me a while to get to this point, and I think I'm still a process in change. But I celebrate it now instead of like beating myself up for it.
We are all
Yes,
processing change, aren't we?
indeed. I'm excited for your entry back into work, though.
Me too. It's been a while, and there was some cool shit going on when I left. So I wonder where we're at, and if I'm going to have anything to do with that, or if we're going to go back to something else. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
There's been a lot of turmoil for various reasons in recent months, work-wise.
I see.
So it'll be interesting to see where we're at. And what is it today? Today is
The 9th today. It's my sister's birthday.
happy birthday to your sister.
She is 19 today.
Oh my.
I know. Thank you very much. And here's my card, Robert. This is me. And you can find my contacts on the back there.
That's very good.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Nice to meet you, Robert.
Nice to meet you as
And
well.
for
You have a
our
very
past-
nice day.
You too, Robert. I appreciate you. Bye for now.
Bye for now.